Now then, laddo. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Come on then. How do? Little adjustment there. Come on, Stevie. So, a little bit of an introduction for all the new subscribers. My name's Sam. Proper name Neil Samworth. Neil Sam Samworth. Grew up in Sheffield, in Yorkshire. Left school, started working engineering. I did 22 years in engineering. During that time, I worked on the doors in Sheffield. I had my own business as a therapy business, massage, Reiki healing, Indian head massage and reflexology. I then spent 18 years working in secure environments. That's forensic units with lasses or females only. Private public sector prison, and in between that I worked in a private kids home. My channel's about criminal justice and mental health, massively on the mental health. The more people I meet, you know, it's almost like a pandemic itself. I'm out today with Stephen, my black dog. He's named after Steve McQueen. His name's spelt the posh way, PH though. Yeah, we're doing a vlog today. I do interviews with people, ordinary people, extraordinary lives. So there you go, let's get into it. Thanks to everyone who has contributed to the channel in any way, people who are going to contribute in the future, and certainly everyone I've interviewed who has helped massively. Right, Wayne Couzens. So this guy Couzens, he was a Met police officer. He killed a beautiful lass, Sarah Everard. It only seems 2 minutes ago that his trial was in the press. He's just been in the press again this week. He got given a whole of life sentence, and he's appealing that along with his legal team. When I say he's appealing it, he's not sat in a cell in Franklin writing a letter on his own to a judge. You know, the legal cogs are turning. You know, it is an endless money-making machine for certain individuals in this country. Yeah, people are going about human rights and the like, and people have the right to appeal and all this, but the industry just generates money for itself. And like I said, 2 minutes since he was in court, back in the press appealing his sentence. So what I want to do today is explain to you the difference between a life sentence and a whole of life sentence. I'm going to talk about whole of life first, best I can, which is what he got. Whole of life means you are never getting out. There's certain criteria to somebody receiving that sentence, so I'll try my best to explain. The first one, someone who kills 2 or more people. It's premeditated and possibly involve torture and crime of a sexual nature. Not pleasant. That would probably cover Rosemary West, well-known serial killer. Her and her husband sadly killed numerous people. He took his own life, took the coward's way out before facing the music. She's locked up now. Very influential person in prison, that lass. Secondly, there's murder of a child. Again, similar nature. You know, murder, torture, things of a sexual nature, not pleasant. Mark Bridger is a lad who I knew really well. I use the word hate. You know, horrible thing. He took a young lass, April Jones, yeah, from a village in Wales. I'm sorry if I murder this pronunciation. Village name was McCulcheth. There was a big search, and I got a quite lengthy email from a very nice person who lived in or around that village. Said that murder affected the whole of Wales. He got whole of life. For me, whole of life, or would be, it's never going to happen, but people who should receive the death penalty. There's about 60, 65 people in this country. So I'm not talking about a life sentence, I'm talking about whole of life. So that's two of the criteria. Third one, somebody who kills a police officer or prison officer. That's after 2015. Somebody who goes on to murder again. So they might have murdered someone, done time, and murder again. They're not necessarily going to get whole of life, but that's one of the criteria. And the final one is somebody who commits murder and is connected with terror or extremism. Stephen, come on, kid. That would cover the murderer. We don't need to mention him, but we'll mention her of MP Jo Cox, bless her. Again, tragic. So they're roughly the 5 criteria. This Couzens, yeah, doesn't fall into that category. A single murder, and like I say, not fitting that criteria. The judge obviously considered everything when sentencing him to whole of life. The fact he was a police officer, you know, he's in a position of trust and the like, you know, it was very, very high profile. Despicable creature, despicable nature of the crime. Family and friends will suffer forever. You know, him getting a whole of life, I'm sure that didn't ease the pain. But maybe, just maybe, there's a sort of a tiny bit of justice. But he's appealing that now. Yeah, so some of the things that he's getting appealed on. His barrister agrees that he should do decades behind bars, but not all of life. A couple of the things that they use in sort of mitigation, yeah? Remorse. I don't care, me, if someone's remorseful. He's remorseful because he's being caught. Yeah, that doesn't count for nothing. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't ease anyone's pain or make anything better. You come out of there, you. Yeah? The fact he went guilty, right. Here's the thing in this country. Somebody goes guilty verdict. You save the public the cost of a trial. In extreme cases like this, that shouldn't matter again. That's not mitigation for me. And then other things that people throw into the mix. You know, the judge at his initial trial said, you know, the ability of police to detain people and the trust element, etc. Well, it's been thrown in that it's not only police who can detain people, because teachers can detain pupils. What the actual fudge has that got to do with anything? Yeah, so that's whole of life. This guy is the only person who's received whole of life out of the 60, 65 people now serving it who has committed a single murder and not connected to any of the other, you know, criteria. 5 judges sat down, listened to it. They're going to give their verdict later. Let's hope that that lad stays on whole of life. Right, a life sentence. You don't have to commit murder to receive a life sentence. I remember a lad, he was a young offender in my care when I was in the private sector. 17. Him and another lad was 17, had an argument. They were both drunk, they were both carrying knives. Neither have been in trouble with the law before. They both stabbed each other. The lad I know nearly died, the other lad did die. He received an 18-month prison term tariff as a life sentence, yeah? That don't mean he's just in prison, serves that term, and then he's done. He's got a license, which means when you get out of prison, you've got a license for life, yeah? So, you know, he commits another crime, he's going back in and he could go back in for life. I've come across serial rapists, yeah, who have received life terms. Again, there's a license. You usually get a tariff, maybe 15 years. Then you're eligible for parole. The parole board decides whether you're fit for release. And then you're released, but you've still got a license, yeah? Hopefully that explains it. Incidentally, while the guy was up there, they heard some other cases, yeah? Some of them cases were being appealed because of lenient sentences. In one of them, you know, I didn't look at it factually in depth, but a child was tortured, yeah, by a couple. The torture was that extreme that they ended up having limbs removed, I believe, yeah. Why someone wouldn't get an appropriate sentence for that, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Couzens, like I say, let's hope the 5 judges make the right decision. He keeps his whole of life, and it doesn't cause any further upset to the family and friends. Parting shot as always, Stevie. Come here, laddo. What you up to, you? Hey, good boy. Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see you.